And welcome to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
And welcome in, everybody, to the first of many Victory Mondays here on the program.
Eric, how are you doing? Knows it's a Victory Monday?
Yeah, well, doesn't seem like it after what happened yesterday, but hey, a win is a win is a win, as we like to say around here. So listen, we can't complain that much, although we will. Yeah, but Eric, just real quick off the top of your head, what was your general quick synopsis of yesterday?
You know what? I say it all the time, and ugly games like that, good teams find a way to win. And that's what they did. They found a way to win. And that's really my takeaway. And you just got to compile wins, and that's what they did yesterday. They got to win.
Yeah, no, that's well said. Yeah, exactly. I think good teams that have been through it. These are definitely the games that they certainly find ways to win. Now, granted, they certainly tried to give it back to them a few occasions, but they prevailed regardless with a victory. So, a lot is to be said about the preseason and the fact that the starters really didn't play, and all of that. Eric was waiting for the NWO to run out. Yeah, well, they probably could have used him on a couple of occasions, I would have bet. Yeah. But yeah, it was a weird, ugly game. But listen, they pulled it out, and there are some positives. Certainly some things to work on, and again, we'll discuss some of the injuries that now we have to overcome for a quick turnaround on Thursday night against the Vikings. David's already predicting Eagles by 4 on Thursday. Hanging out with us from Kansas City. Appreciate it, David, as always, buddy. Always love when you chime in, man. Listen, first quarter, fantastic.
Oh yeah, let's do
that. Yeah. But we were a second quarter team last year, and man, we did not have a good second quarter or third quarter. Or really a fourth quarter. It was a little better than
the fourth quarter was better, yeah.
Yeah, but still, it was not pretty. It was an ugly game. But again, the takeaways I think, are that I thought the defense overall played pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of people are kind of giving them crap because, again, we had 70 sacks and oh my God, we didn't get a sack until the fourth quarter and this, that, and the other. And we ended up with 2 sacks, but they were getting pressure all night. Like they
Yeah.
were just there, just missing, almost with sacks all night. Honestly, they
But a
were
lot of that
bleeding up
stuff
the
was by
offensive line.
design by New England. Like they ran a lot of these quick
Yeah,
outs. Like you saw it all. In fact, I know Tony Romo highlighted it at one point, talking about getting the ball out in like 2 seconds,
yeah.
and like you're not going to get pressure when they've got and good on them for coming up with ways to get the ball out.
Well, that's Bill Belichick for you.
Yeah,
Exactly what he does. So, yeah, listen, you're absolutely right. They got the ball out quick, and again, I still think the defense played pretty good.
yeah, I
Uh, you
think
know,
so.
Slay and Bradbury played pretty good. I thought Maddox had a good game. I thought Job had a really good game actually. Very underrated his game.
Yeah,
Um, I thought Dean had a pretty decent game until he got out, and we'll discuss that in a little bit.
mhm.
But the defensive line was great. I mean, Jordan Davis, our future
Jalen Carter had
is
another
so
great
bright.
game.
Our
Yeah,
our future in the interior defensive
mhm.
line is so bright. Jordan Davis was absolutely a monster. Jalen Carter had led the team in pressures, got himself his first NFL sack. His first play, he already had beat his man in point 0.2 seconds. Like
Yeah,
he just was like get out of the way. And again, luckily for Mac Jones, he got it out real quick. But yeah,
right.
Carter was a monster, and man, the two of them were great. Jordan Davis had the fumble, forced fumble, that led to the recovery, the second turnover. So yeah, I thought the defensive front played really well, and overall the defense played really good, and I think you know at least you have that kind of to hang your hat on.
I agree. This defense really did play well. You know what? Some days you're going to have a defensive day. Some days you're going to have an offensive day where one side carries the game. And yesterday was a game where the Eagles hit you with the defense, and and goes all the way up to the end of the game. The play on the sideline. Yeah, was I the only one that as soon as I saw the replay, I was just like, "Yep, that's it, game over." I knew they
Yeah,
were going to change the call of the field, and
yeah, wow. Um, excuse me. Yeah, so the offense, I think, is what needs to be talked
sure.
about. And I think it starts with Sirianni and Brian Johnson with the play calling. Um, Listen, it was his first game calling plays. Um, the rain, I'm sure, had a factor,
Sure.
but it wasn't great. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you only target Dallas Goddard once, and it was in the fourth quarter. For
Yeah.
again, unfortunately, not a very catchable ball. Hey, what's going on there? Daniel Berry Sports Highlights checking in. I appreciate that, buddy.
Nice. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. The offensive
Yeah.
line I thought didn't play all that well. I thought Smith and Brown had a pretty good game. I thought
Yeah.
Gainwell had a pretty good game, but again, that was also very confusing. Gainwell came out and had 14 carries and four targets, where Swift had one carry and two targets. Like that was very confusing,
Yeah. As a
considering
fantasy football owner of
Swift.
Swift, I wasn't happy about that.
It's
But
almost as if somebody had warned you about keeping Swift.
yeah, almost.
Anyway, yeah. Listen, it was, I was on a post game show on Edge of Philly Sports, which, by the way, you guys out there need to check out for every single Eagles game. Pre-game show, halftime show, which is like rapid fire, like 5 minute quick observation, and then it's run right back to the second half. And then, of course, post game show. Yesterday, post game show, we were joined by Phil from AM and the PM, PM and the AM. Um, but yeah, he brought up a great situation where, or a kind of a scenario where it's like it's almost as if the Eagles, were hyping up Gainwell so much. Everybody was like, nah, it's obviously Swift is the number one. It's obviously Swift. And the Eagles were like, well, what about Gainwell? What about Gainwell? And
Yeah,
Gainwell's
right.
getting the first team carries, and Gainwell's getting more targets, and Gainwell. And that's what we got shoved down our throat. And the Eagles were kind of like, well, I guess we kind of have to just do that now. Like, it's almost like they were trying to prove a point. It was weird.
Yeah, it was very curious. I'll tell you what stood up to me with the offense. It seemed like one, it was very obvious that that was Brian Johnson's first game as an NFL offensive coordinator
Yeah.
and play
Yeah.
caller, and it seemed like they were. I don't want to say scared because that's the wrong word, but it was like
Vanilla?
they were coaching tentatively.
Vanilla?
Yeah, like they no shots down the field,
Right.
and when they were, it was like a clear overthrow, like nothing where like a jump ball. Hey, AJ Brown, go up and get it. Hey, Devontae Smith, go up and get it.
Right. There was only a very, very small amount
Yeah.
of those plays. And yeah, listen, I think we obviously have the talent and the ability to play like that. But,
Hmm.
maybe the rain dictated a lot of that.
Sure.
Excuse me. So yeah, listen, I think we could kind of, oh man, ooh, excuse me. Man, I'm all over the place today.
And I mean, look, and maybe some of that is Belichick ate up a first-time offensive coordinator, first-time play caller, and made him look that way.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors that can go into this. You have the rain, you have the
Hmm.
first time coordinator, you have the rust of some of the starters not playing in the preseason. You have Belichick having weeks upon weeks to game plan.
Right.
Those were a lot of factors that kind of can go into perhaps why the Eagles didn't look so sharp. Luckily, they were still able to come out with a victory. Jake Elliott apparently was just decided to save us and kick a lot of field goals.
I don't like extra points, but I like field
Yeah,
goals.
screw that extra point. We didn't want it anyway.
I don't need that
But
garbage.
yeah, kicked 250 plus yarders.
Yeah.
Sorry, apparently I'm dying here.
I'll say
And
something nice at your funeral.
yeah, I'm yawning. Man, I am a hot mess today. What is
Well,
going on with me? Um,
you know what?
that's
You sound like what the Eagles' offense looked like yesterday.
right. Yeah, exactly. Coughing and yawning. So, listen, it wasn't pretty, but let's chalk that up to week one. And week one's
Mhm.
always a weird one, for sure. We have a quick, short turnaround Thursday night,
Right.
home opener against the Minnesota Vikings. We're gonna be down there
Oh
bright and
yeah.
early. I cannot wait. First game of the year is always the best.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. As much as I always wish that it was a Sunday at 1, and this is now 2 years in a row that we didn't get. In fact, what 4 years since we've gotten to have a Sunday at 1 where we have to be down there tailgating.
Yeah.
Um, so, like, thanks a lot for that, NFL. But still, we're gonna make the best of that.
And we're playing Minnesota again.
Yeah, thanks a lot, NFL.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but
Exactly.
again, like it's not gonna matter because once we get down there on Thursday afternoon, like it's gonna be game on. It's gonna be a good time. The drinks are gonna be flowing. Cornhole's gonna be played. Just gonna be a great time. And the atmosphere by 8 o'clock is gonna be electric.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Honestly, the first home game of the year is always just insane. You just have 60,000 Eagle fans that are just frothing at the mouth, wanting to get down there,
Yeah.
and spending all off season thinking about this game. So it is going to be something, that is for sure.
It certainly will be. Looking forward to it again. The NFL seems to be trying to create this rivalry with the Eagles and the Vikings. I just don't think it's there. Like, sorry, NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I really got to stop yawning there. It's all. Is this as if I did too much today. Um, yeah, listen. Again, I think it's just looking at the positives going into this game, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, speaking of, going into this game, where it looks like we're probably going to be without James Bradbury. He's in concussion protocol, and most likely won't be able to break that for the game.
Yeah, I can't imagine he would.
Yeah, N'Kobe Dean is in a walking boot, out at least it looks like 4 weeks.
Right.
Um, Not great. I thought he had a pretty decent game for his, first game as the starter
Yeah.
and the captain of that, defense, quarterback of the defense. So yes, that is going to suck. They did sign Rashad Evans, former first round pick, former Tennessee Titan, to come onto the practice squad. So I'm assuming he will get elevated for the game.
I would assume
Even with the
so.
quick turnaround.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, and it's going to be, I guess, his role will be a very basic role. They're not going to have anything too intricate there for him, like, having just joined the team 3 days earlier. So, a lot to look forward to. Look, game plans for Thursday night games, and in particular, early in the season Thursday night games, probably going to be pretty vanilla.
yeah, I mean, generally, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I think this is the game that you kind of come out and show your hand, kind of thing. This is a statement game. It's national television.
You know how Kirk
Dallas.
Cousins does the national television.
Not true. I mean, it's a chance to show the NFL and the world that Eagles still run the NFC. So I fully
Yeah,
expect them to tighten up some things that need to be tightened up, and to get out there and show the world that, hey, Eagles are here. We're here.
yeah, I think it's really important, especially look Sunday night. It's hard to ignore the fact that the Cowboys just basically went out and stomped the Giants,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
mean, it would be real nice to then Thursday night be like, oh, so Dallas, you had a nice Sunday night game against the Giants. This is still our house.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, listen, I think the Cowboy Giant game was a little bit more of how bad the Giants really are.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, Dallas played great. Their defense certainly played great. Offense, nothing special there.
yeah,
But yeah, their defense certainly came to play. They got two quick touchdowns, and
yeah. The blocked field goal and the
yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, no, they did really well. But I think, again, not to put necessarily try to make this about putting down Dallas, but I think it's more or less the Giants are just trash. They're just not good.
yeah. It's funny because I read something, and hey, spoiler alert, everybody. I like to gamble. Um, and so I know, right? Yeah, right. And so I was reading all these things about like the Giants and their point differential and things like that would lead you to believe that it was like a 6 or 7 win team last year. But then you look and see, oh well, they won. What did they win? 10 games last year. Um,
Nine, nine, 10?
the
Yeah,
Giants.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
nine,
10. Yeah,
or 10, yeah.
and so like that would lead you to believe, based on like their point differential and everything, that they're probably set for a regression. And with
Yeah, I
the
mean,
other
listen, they
teams that was
overachieved.
suggested
So
that was Minnesota too.
yeah, they overachieved. Minnesota won every game by like less than a touchdown. So
Hmm.
I think I don't want to say got lucky, but they certainly won very close games all year. So I think that's certainly due for kind of a downswing, and they didn't look great. Um, Yesterday losing to the Bucks, and unfortunately, I think that probably, if only it did anything to at least motivate the Vikings to not go 0-2. So they might come in. They might come
Oh,
in
sure, they might be
a
looking
little
like a
angry.
desperate team. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Look,
We
it's still
shall.
early on in the season, and I don't like to be the guy who sits there and says, "Hey, look, it's possible we could lose on Thursday night." But like, would it shock you? Would it shake you? Would it shake your foundation if the Eagles come out there against a desperate Minnesota team and the Vikings just found a way to win? Like,
Oh, that was me shaking to my core. Sorry.
oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, listen. Do I fully expect the Eagles to go 17-0? No, I do not.
mm-mm.
Potentially, yeah, Mike. Unfortunately, it looks like a less than zero, less than 1% chance that
Yeah,
he will
Bradbury,
play.
yeah.
Just again, given the nature of the concussion protocol and how you have to go through it. So,
So
most
then he'll have 11 days after Thursday. So he'll have 15 days to
true.
get through concussion protocol before we play Tampa
That
on
one,
Monday
I
night.
think that one,
Yeah,
I think he's got.
yeah,
But we shall see. Certainly, I want to keep monitoring that. I also want, again, with the linebacker situation, we were already pretty thin, and
yeah.
losing Dean is not great.
And
Uh,
isn't it always funny? It always works out that way. The
always
position
works that
you're
way, doesn't it?
really thin
And
at, that's where you get the injuries at.
listen, I don't want to see Christian Ellis on the field. I don't want to see Justin Evans on the field. That guy was terrible too. So I'd love to see Sidney Brown and Reed Blankenship be the safeties.
Yeah.
Um, I still think Howie needs to do something at safety and something in linebackers. So I don't know. Maybe this might justify a move for him.
Well, and he's not scared to do it.
No,
If he thinks that's what they need, he'll go make a move. He'll bring somebody in if he can. That's another one where it takes two to tango, and it's only week two. Like nobody's thinking they're out of it just yet, except for maybe Arizona. I think they got eliminated before the
oh
season.
hey, listen, they almost beat Washington.
Yeah, yes, they did. And I mean, Washington did everything they could to give that game to Arizona, and Arizona was still like, "Yeah, no thanks."
Yeah, they're like, nah, we really want Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think that's what he's the antithesis of Kyler Murray. Caleb Williams is the tall, big receiver with the huge arm, and will beat you from the pocket. Whereas Kyler Murray's the small, like
Yeah,
noodle arm and running around and beats you with
damn,
his legs.
noodle arm. Say
Yep,
that to his face.
that's what I said.
Say that to his face.
Well, I will say that from the comfort of my recliner.
I'm sure you will. So, all right. So, moving to this Thursday night game, obviously Justin Jefferson,
Mhm.
KJ Osborne, Jordan Addison had a pretty good game. So they certainly have receivers. Obviously, they have T.J. Hawkinson. So they kind of a very similar skill set when it comes to receivers, like the Eagles, kind of that 3-4, weapon type thing. Plus, Madison's a pretty good back as well. So, the defense is certainly going to have their hands full, and luckily, the Vikings defense isn't that great. So, hopefully, we can open things up. Maybe Sirianni yells at Johnson and tells him to, start calling some plays. And
Did you hear Sirianni's post game press
no,
conference?
what do you say?
I said he was awesome.
Well, yeah.
Ryan Johnson did an
What else?
awesome
What else
job.
are you going to say? You're not going to, shit on
No,
the guy.
no, but
Yeah,
I just sounded curious.
yeah.
And I wouldn't have expected it. Like, in fact, I would have been disappointed in Sirianni had he taken a shot at Brian
Yeah.
Johnson there.
No, I mean that would be so much worse right now if we were in that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
If he was, yeah, he's like, oh yeah, that guy sucks.
Or I mean, or like even if he had said that, but it said something like, "Oh man, that was a rough game for him. Got to do better. Got to do better next week." And whereas instead he just goes, "Hey, he did
Yeah,
awesome,"
listen,
and
I like
that
I
was a
like
good.
it. It's encouraging,
Yeah,
and you move on. So listen, he's probably again behind closed doors. He's gonna talk to him and be like, "All right, dude, not great, but like we'll move on." Um, awesome job trying not to lose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what the offense looked like to me. It looked like a team that was just trying not to lose.
Yeah, some of the play calls were very very strange, and in the situations, but a lot of weird screens that just didn't seem to make sense, and um, dump offs and
Yeah,
just yeah again. I think a lot of that too was the fact that you didn't target Dallas Goddard, and
and I figured, like,
you
you
needed
talked
to
about the rain
establish
affecting the offense. I figured that would be more a reason to try to get Goddard involved.
right, get right up the seam, 10
Yeah,
yards, get that middle of the field working, and then start playing with the outside a little bit as you get them sucked in, and yeah, I don't know, it was it was very strange. Um, and listen, I hope they learn from it.
yeah.
They have a couple of days to figure it the heck out because the Boo Birds are going to be coming out on Thursday if they don't figure it out by then.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, we will be plenty liquored up at that point when the game starts, and not you. I'm surprised you don't have your first Bloody Mary ready for Thursday, like right now.
I mean, listen, I did the pre and the post game show on Sunday on the Edge of Philly
Hmm.
Sports Network with Dives, and yeah, I think our show started. We went live at about 11.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, listen, I had my first drink then. I
Nice.
was getting ready. It was cordial. It's cordial.
Yeah,
Funny.
yeah.
Um, and listen, I may see. The only problem is with Thursday is that the game's at 8:20,
Hmm.
and we can only get let in at 1:20, 7 hours. But I want to be drinking earlier than that.
Sure.
So it's a very, very weird conundrum for me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. And I wonder, like, yeah, obviously we're gonna be down there right when they'll let us in, but it's like
Yeah, I
I
mean,
wonder,
well, and I don't
are
have to
there
go
gonna be
pick
a
up.
lot of stragglers? Like,
Yeah, I don't have to pick up Larry because he's just apparently just getting dropped off.
okay,
Um, so I plan on, you know how Larry is. Um, so I'll probably be sitting in line by like 12 or 12:30. Like I don't
that's
mind.
awesome.
You know, I want to make sure we get a nice spot
Yeah, I
in
told
our new
Mike to be
lot.
at my place by 11.
What's that?
I told Mike to be at my place by 11.
I would tell him to sleep over.
It's about the only way I can ensure that he'll be available. Yeah,
Right, exactly. I mean, come on, how many times has he burned you even with that?
yeah, yeah. I definitely, was breaking his balls some yesterday about that. And Nicholas was there saying he's like, "Oh, so I took your spot in fantasy football. Can I take your spot in the Eagles season tickets too?"
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd rather be tailgating with Nicholas than Mike. No offense,
he'll take it.
Mike,
I'm
with
sure
a
he'd
great
probably be
comment. Make
rather
sure you record the
tailgating with
game so you can
Nicholas than
watch it
me.
when you sober up. Oh, I've never needed to do that. But no, luckily, Mike, I do DVR every single game,
Oh yeah,
regardless
I
of
definitely record every game too.
whether I
Yeah,
am conscious or not. Um, but yes, so that way I can watch it throughout the week multiple times. Um,
yeah.
in
I've already
fact,
had my first rewatch of yesterday.
I was going to say I was
Yeah.
working from home today, and during after I was done, yeah, my early afternoon meeting, I threw it on kind of in the background and was
Mhm.
doing a little work while I was playing. So at some point over the next 2 days, actually maybe even early Thursday, because I am off Thursday and Friday, hence for the
Yeah.
game. I may watch it early Thursday before I leave. So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
But you
I'll
never know.
probably, yeah, I'll probably watch it again Wednesday night. That'll probably be my second reviewing.
I was gonna say, Mike. I know you're. Hope you're still watching here, but where do you guys end up tailgating? Curious because I know you are season ticket holder, just like the two of us.
Mhm.
And obviously would love to see it. We have switched over from the Wells Fargo C lot, C2, not
C1 and C3, never
C1, and
C2.
in between C1 and C3, never C2.
Turf Club. Ooh.
Turf Club. Okay. Well, we are in the M lot now, so yeah, we should figure out to get together. Anyway, but yes, that goes for everybody. If anybody's out there in and around the M lot, please make your way over to us. Let us know where you're at. Shoot us a message. Always look for the Philly Sports Alliance flag that will be flying. And yeah, we'll have plenty of beers. Always do.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Eric. I'm going to ask you what your prediction score-wise for the game, and I'm going to ask you to give me a player of the game, and we'll try to keep track and see who's right and who's wrong.
Okay. I'll go 24-14 Eagles. And my player of the game, we talked about it earlier, only got one target on Sunday. I'm thinking this is a Dallas Goedert game.
Ooh, I like it. It's very much Devontae Smith of last year.
Right.
Did not get a single catch in the first game, and then only proceeded to blow the heck up the rest of the season. So,
and it's funny because listening to Sirianni in the post game, he referenced that a same thing. He mentioned how, last year Devontae Smith didn't catch anything, and then what did he do the rest of the year?
Right, exactly. Well, there you go. Yeah. I'm gonna go with AJ Brown.
Okay.
I mean, Hurts. Obviously, I think it's just I don't.
Well, I feel like that's an easy answer.
Yeah, I don't think any one of us should say Hurts ever, just because that is an easy one.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's probably gonna be Hurts, but yeah, I'll go with AJ Brown. I thought he really had a great game. Again, if you add that catch that he got taken away to his totals, he had a really, numbers wise, he had a fantastic day. Either way, had a great game. Yeah, it was. I just think he's going to light up some Minnesota Viking D-backs on Thursday night. I will go with the score of 34-28.
Okay.
A little bit higher of a score.
Yeah, I was going to say, light it up.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I hope they do. I hope Eagles score 40 points every game, and they win. I mean, obviously, I don't want them to win 40-39 every week, but
no, I don't know that my heart could take it.
No, not so much. But yeah, no, I hope they score a lot of points.
I did get a recommendation.
Give us Eagles fans
some
a chance to cheer.
My wife recommended the Eric Smash counter or something, because you know how I have my little freakouts, and she calls them Eric Smash moments.
Sure, yeah, Eric Smash, I get it.
And so there should be some kind of counter for how many times I have an Eric Smash moment throughout the year.
Oh, I like that.
In fact, she came up with the idea of an Eric Smash jar where I have to put in money whenever I have a freak out moment. And someone's like, well, what are you going to do with the money? And she's like, well, at the end of the year, we'll use it to, I don't know. I'm like, what? Fund a trip to freaking Hawaii? Like,
yeah. I was going to say,
you know me?
buy a new house? Like,
yeah, right.
Buy a private island?
Yeah, I feel like if I have the money to put in there, sure.
All right. Mike says he's going to go with Swift because he does know the Vikings. Swift with 2 TDs. I like that. I almost said Swift. 34-17. Yeah. I like that. Okay. Well, Mike, I hope you're right.
All right, we'll log Mike's.
Yeah, we'll log Mike's too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Maui is for sale. You are correct.
All right.
Get it on the cheap.
But thoughts, prayers for the people of Maui. Obviously.
All right, folks. Well, that's it for us. We will see you guys next week, next Monday. Hopefully, discussing another Victory Monday. Hopefully, many to come this year. But please make sure that you hit that like, follow, subscribe button wherever you're listening. We do want us to give a quick shout out to Edge of Philly Sports. So we have, as you can read, we kind of partnered up with them. We stream on their YouTube. They stream on our Facebook. So it's a nice little kind of partner sharing there a little bit. So it's great. If you subscribe or follow us on Facebook, put on those automatic notifications. That way, when we do go live, you'll know exactly when that happens, and you'll get all the Philly Sports Alliance shows throughout the week. You'll also get all of the Edge of Philly Sports shows throughout the week. There is plenty of shows coming through Edge of Philly, including all post game of every game. For the Phillies. So please check that out. Oh, Mike, you're fine, dude. No,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, Mike, dude. We absolutely love you, man. We
we
always
want to
do.
get out to one of your shows.
Yeah, yeah, we keep saying that, but we really do. Honestly, I
Yeah,
really have been wanting to. Um, life, unfortunately.
I feel like it'd be a
But
good thing to take Ronan to for you.
I mean, they do have. I have seen the kid friendly shows.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, But anyway, yeah. So please make sure you give Edge of Philly Sports a like, follow, and a subscribe. Also on YouTube, we could use some YouTube love. So certainly do that. Give us a follow. Subscribe to us on YouTube would be fantastic. Do want to mention two quick things. La Terrain Watches. They are the official sponsor of the Football Smack Talk Show and the Philly Sports Alliance. Please head on over to la-terrain.com. Get yourself some site-wide discounts. Use code PSA and get yourself a nice fancy watch. They got amazing stuff over there. I have a couple of watches. I got a pair of sunglasses. I wear those watches all the time. I wear those sunglasses all the time. In fact, I'm probably going to get another pair of those sunglasses. They are really nice, and I get compliments on all of it all of the time. So it's like luxury looking stuff,
yeah.
not luxury prices. So and save even more with code PSA. And then finally, actually, two more things. I'm sorry. I have way too much. I really should just space this out throughout the show, but I get caught up talking about it. Want to mention, of course, Six Pack Coverage. We are part of Six Pack Coverage based out of Tennessee. Head on over to www.sixpackcoverage.com. Check out their website. They got shows for all types of people, not just sports stuff, but lifestyle, food, fitness, finance, a couple other things that start with F. They got a really good group of guys over there. They got an amazing college network where they have teams of kids reporting from all major colleges to kind of give you kind of the vibe of that college through sports and other things too. So check them out. Follow them on Instagram anywhere you can. Six Pack Coverage is absolutely amazing. And then last but not least, Philly Sports Trips. If you haven't been to an away Eagles game or a Phillies trip or spring training, Sixers games, like you name it. Philly Sports Trips has it.
Yeah, didn't
They
they
are
do a trip to the
absolutely,
Masters?
yeah. They got the Masters. They go across the pond, like you name it. They got it. So Philly Sports Trips, we have gone with them a few times throughout the years to some Eagles away games. In fact, I'm going to go to the New York Jets away game. It's a bus trip. It's already sold out, so you missed your chance, but they got a couple other trips going, especially the away trip down to D.C. Head on over to phillysportstrips.com, click trips, and then you can see everything they have going on. It's really nicely priced. So you get a lot of stuff. The bus trip we went on last year to
Yeah,
Washington. I mean, it was top notch. I mean, you walk in there. First of all, you got a nice charter bus, so it's a nice, comfy bus. It's really decent stuff. You have food and drink on the bus heading down, and yeah, you walk in there and they have the tailgate all set up, and it's just tables, and it's this kind of booze, this beer, this Bloody Marys, which you mentioned earlier. Whatever you could think of to drink, all there, and then the food. Oh my God, the food were amazing. The filet mignon sandwiches were top notch. I definitely drank way too many Bloody Marys. Fell asleep on my buddy's shoulder for the second quarter. Woke up, rallied, and absolutely freaking rocked out for the second half.
You definitely did. You were back into it by halftime.
I was, yeah. I was gonna say I was talking with Al, Big Al, who helps run Edge of Philly Sports for the pregame yesterday, and we were reminiscing about that. He's like, "Yeah, dude, I was just talking to my producer, and he was like, yeah, man. And he was like, yeah, that's the guy who fell asleep and blah blah blah. And he was like, yeah, but dude, we were both saying you rallied like a champ and like we're all over the place. I was like, well, that's what I do. So anyway, check out Philly Sports Trips. Vince and the guys there. Vince is like the nicest dude ever.
Yeah.
He runs an amazing show. Every away game has people that you know. Philly Sports Guy, 4th of John, E-Rock, is usually DJing or at least, involved in some way. Hollis Thomas is like the official mascot of Philly Sports Trips. Besides the Philly Sports Guy, he's there at every game. They also do home tailgates. So if you don't, if you want to go to a game or you're going to a game, you don't have a tailgate set up, you don't really have anything going on, head on over to their site, check out their home tailgates. Again, it's like an all you can eat, all you can drink party. It's amazing. I highly recommend it. So get on over there, give them some love, and let them know that you heard about them from the Philly Sports Alliance. Philly Sports Trips, Philly Sports Alliance, Philly Sports Trips, Philly Sports Alliance. Anyway, that's it for us. Sorry for the long blah, blah, blah. But we have bills to pay that we still owe on. So, but all right, Eric. Anything to add before we knock on out of here?
Nah.
All right, gotta love it. All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate the love, the comments. Please give it a like. Please give it a follow. Please give it a share. It takes 2 seconds for you to hit a couple of buttons. It means the world to us, so we do appreciate that. Make sure you follow us on Twitter as well. Twitter handle up there, Philly Sports PSA. We will see you guys next week and throughout the week here on the Philly Sports Alliance, especially on Facebook and on Edge of Philly Sports YouTube. We got plenty of shows. We got the college football, NFL draft prospect show weekly coming up, coming to you shortly. Tomorrow, Birds Around Table. Wednesday, we have Eric, you have your show.
Yeah, TLC podcast. Yeah.
TLC podcast. Party on Broad is also Wednesday. We got post games coming to you throughout the week. And we will be, now I will not be on the pre-half or post-game show for Thursday, but I may be on something a little bit for the pre-game, a little pre-recorded action. So we'll see. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week for the Football Smack Talk show. I'm your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Want to know, baby. Let's keep piling up them wins. Yeah. F the Vikings. Good night.